All right, let's dive into the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy in Kenya. I think this is going to be fascinating.
Oh yeah, tons to unpack here.
I know you love talking about wildlife travel, and I'm really getting that travel bug myself. You know, especially for a place like Africa.
Right.
And, we've got some great articles and reviews about Lewa, and I really want to just pull out the really interesting nuggets, What is it about this place that's... All right, let's dive into the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy in Kenya. I think this is going to be fascinating.
Oh yeah, tons to unpack here.
I know you love talking about wildlife travel, and I'm really getting that travel bug myself. Especially for a place like Africa.
Right.
And, we've got some great articles and reviews about Lewa, and I really want to just pull out the really interesting nuggets, What is it about this place that's so special?
Yeah.
What's beyond the big five? What kind of impact are they having? Is it really as luxurious as everybody says? So let's get into it.
Yeah, what's really cool about Lewa is that it's kind of a legacy project. It's not just beautiful and full of animals. It's a story.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So picture this, right? You've got this huge savanna, and it's just stretching out beneath Mount Kenya. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Wow.
And that's where Lewa is 62,000 acres.
That's huge.
It is. It was actually a cattle ranch way back in 1924 when the Craig family first settled there.
Oh.
But get this, in 1983, they decided to transform the ranch into a nonprofit
That's amazing.
to protect wildlife.
Wow, so they were ahead of the curve with that.
Yeah, for sure. And that really set the stage for the incredible Lewa we know and love today.
So it's been decades of conservation work.
Decades.
It's impressive. What kind of animals are we talking about here?
Oh man, you name it. Lewa has an incredible diversity of animals,
Yeah.
including all of the big five: lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, cape, buffalo, you name it.
Wow, okay, so that's already amazing, but I understand there's something even more unique about Lewa.
Yes, exactly. Lewa is home to something called the Northern Specials.
Okay.
It's 5 unique species that are adapted to arid conditions found only north of the equator.
Wait, so you can only find these animals in this specific region?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow, okay, I'm all ears. Tell me everything.
All right, so first up, you've got the greedy zebra. Have you ever seen one of those?
I don't think so. What makes them special?
Well, they're the largest zebra species in the world, those bold black and white stripes and these huge round ears. And Lewa actually boasts the largest population of greedy zebras globally.
No way.
It's true. And then there's the gerenuk. Ever heard of that one?
I haven't.
Okay, so picture this antelope standing tall on its hind legs, reaching up to grab leaves.
Oh, wow.
Almost like a ballerina, graceful and elegant.
Okay, that's incredible. And what else?
Okay, you've also got the reticulated giraffe with its beautifully intricate coat patterns.
I love giraffes.
They're amazing, right?
Yeah.
Those patterns look like a mosaic. Seriously.
Then you have the boisa or Leostrix.
You got this majestic antelope with long, straight horns, like they're trying to touch the sky. And finally, we have the Somali ostrich. They're a bit different with those bluish-gray legs and neck. It really adds to the whole diversity of this ecosystem.
It sounds like a real-life nature documentary.
It really is.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we still got the big five roaming around.
Right. Like the rhinos.
Oh, yeah. Lewa is really well known for having a ton of both black and white rhinos.
That's amazing.
And they're not that hard to spot either. So you've got elephants and buffalo just roaming freely.
Wow.
Their herds are massive. They look like living sculptures. And then there's the predators.
Okay, now we're talking.
Cheetahs, lions, leopards, and even wild dogs. They definitely add a thrill to the whole Lewa experience.
Oh, I bet. It sounds almost too good to be true. Like, how could one place have all of this?
I know, right? Pretty special. But I do have to ask, when would be the best time to actually see all these animals in action?
Right, good question.
Well, peak wildlife viewing is during the dry season, so July to September, and then December to February.
Got it.
But there's a little twist, especially if you're the kind of person who doesn't mind a bit of mud.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Most lodges actually close down in April and November
Why is that?
because of the heavy rains. It's beautiful, but it gets a little messy.
Oh, I see. But why close down? I mean, everything must be so lush and green during the rainy season.
Oh, it is. But the black cotton soil, you know what gives Lewa that rich landscape?
Yes.
It turns into this sticky, impassable mess when it rains.
Oh, no.
It's basically like trying to drive on a giant mud skating rink.
I can imagine.
So you might get breathtaking scenery and baby animals,
Right.
but also some serious travel headaches.
Ah, so it's a trade-off. breathtaking scenery and baby animals or potential travel headaches.
Exactly.
What a dilemma.
Right.
Speaking of actually experiencing Lewa, I was looking at these reviews, and there are some pretty incredible visitor anecdotes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What were some of your favorites?
Well, one reviewer talked about tracking radio-collared lions on foot with a ranger.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, through dense scrub, too.
I know, right? Talk about an adrenaline rush. Being that close to these majestic creatures, feeling the raw energy of a predator.
That's intense.
In its natural habitat. It's a truly immersive experience.
Wow, okay, that definitely sends shivers down my spine. That's exhilarating and terrifying at the same time.
Exactly.
Did any other reviewers have those kinds of close encounters?
Oh, yeah. Another one talked about a bushwalk where they were completely surrounded by a herd of elephants.
Oh, wow.
They said they felt totally dwarfed by their size and power.
I can imagine.
But they also emphasized how calm and knowledgeable their Maasai guide was.
Oh, good.
The guide knew exactly how to handle the situation, kept the group safe while still providing an incredible up-close experience.
That's amazing. It sounds like the guides play a really crucial role.
Absolutely.
Not just in safety, but also just enhancing the whole experience.
Yeah, they bring a depth of knowledge and connection to the land that's just unmatched. It's like having a personal storyteller with you.
Yeah, like turning a safari into something more than just sightseeing.
Exactly.
So besides the amazing wildlife and these expert guides, what other unique activities did the reviews mention?
Oh, let me tell you. Well, besides those classic game drives, Lewa offers guided game walks, horseback riding for the more experienced riders, and even night drives for a completely different perspective on the wildlife.
Whoa, hold on. Tracking rhinos on foot? That's wild. Imagine feeling the wilderness all around you, being that close to these powerful animals.
I know, it would be an incredible adrenaline rush, right?
Definitely. I've only ever seen rhinos from the safety of a Jeep, but being on foot tracking them, that's next level immersion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable in the saddle, horseback riding gives you this unique vantage point. You cover more ground and you experience the landscape in a way that feels more connected, like you're an early explorer.
I can see it now. The wind in my hair, the hooves pounding on the red soil, it's like stepping back in time.
Totally. And what about those night drives?
Oh yeah, those sound amazing.
Under the cover of darkness, a whole different cast of characters comes out.
Right.
It's a sensory experience you wouldn't believe. Sounds, smells. It's amazing.
I bet you could catch a leopard on the hunt, or maybe a family of Aprigidae aardvarks out looking for dinner.
Exactly. It's like a secret world that only reveals itself at night.
It sounds magical. Speaking of otherworldly, these reviews mention that Lewa is a favorite amongst the jet set and royalty.
Oh, yeah.
Makes me wonder, what's the experience like for those of us who aren't royalty? Is it all champagne and caviar?
Well, Lewa does have high-end accommodations, but it's not just about extravagance. One reviewer really loved the little touches.
Oh, like what?
Hot water bottles tucked into bed at night, fresh coffee delivered every morning.
Yeah.
But what really stood out was the warmth and hospitality of the staff.
That's what makes a trip memorable, right? It's the human connection.
Totally. That feeling of being welcomed even in the heart of the wilderness.
It elevates a good experience to an exceptional one.
For sure. And that commitment to quality isn't just about the guest experience. It's about everything Lewa does.
Right.
Remember, their roots are in land management, and they've brought that expertise to conservation. They have serious security measures in place to protect the wildlife. That's why you have such a high chance of seeing those rhinos.
That's good to know. It's great that they're going the extra mile to ensure everyone's safety, but I'm sure those security measures aren't cheap, and visiting Lewa is an investment.
Right.
So remind me what makes it so special.
Don't forget, the proceeds from tourism go right back into those conservation efforts and support the local communities.
Right.
This isn't just a vacation. It's contributing to something bigger. You're supporting the protection of endangered species, the preservation of this amazing habitat, and the empowerment of the local people.
Okay, that definitely adds another layer to the experience. It makes the price tag a little easier to swallow knowing you're part of the solution.
And that impact goes beyond the Conservancy. Lewa's a success with rhino conservation. It has ripple effects throughout the whole region.
That's awesome.
It's a model for other initiatives, and it inspires neighboring communities to do the same.
It's like a beacon of hope showing that conservation can actually work.
Exactly. But it's not just about the animals, right? We've talked about community impact. I'd love to hear more about the specifics. How does tourism actually benefit the people who live in the area?
Yeah, good question.
Lewa knows that the well-being of wildlife and the well-being of people are completely connected. They have all sorts of programs focused on education, healthcare, economic empowerment.
Okay, so it's a more holistic approach.
Yeah, they're funded by tourism revenue, so the benefits reach the whole community.
So it's not just about wildlife preservation, it's about creating a sustainable future for everyone. Can you give me some examples of these programs?
Sure. Leah has established schools, clinics, vocational training centers, all funded by tourism. They support women's groups that make crafts and things, providing income and empowerment. And they work with local communities on sustainable farming practices, making sure they can thrive alongside the wildlife.
Wow, that's impressive. It's about empowering people to create opportunities, not just handing out aid.
Absolutely. It's about building a better future for themselves and their children. Lewa is truly committed to this sustainable model.
It's inspiring to see a place where conservation and community development are so intertwined.
It is.
Makes you think about the impact of our travel choices, that we can choose to support places that are making a positive difference.
Absolutely. When we're mindful travelers, we vote with our wallets and support businesses and organizations that match our values. And sometimes that means spending a little more, knowing that our money is making a real difference.
That's a powerful point. It's not just about taking a vacation. It's about making a conscious choice to support responsible tourism.
Exactly.
Knowing our experiences are benefiting others and not just ourselves.
And that's what makes travel so meaningful. Connecting with different cultures, appreciating our planet, and leaving a positive impact.
Okay, I'm sold on Lewa, but what really struck me in those reviews was how emotionally moved people were.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about seeing animals, it was about a connection to the place, the wildlife, the people.
You're right. There's a depth of emotion in their words, a sense of awe and wonder that speaks to the transformative power of nature.
Yeah, they felt humbled by the vastness, the resilience of the wildlife, the dedication of the people working to protect it all.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're really getting a sense of what makes Leo so special, that connection to nature. It's a recurring theme in these reviews.
I can see why. It's like hitting the reset button. You step off the treadmill of life into this world where time slows down and you can really connect with yourself in nature.
Exactly.
But let's go back to those rhinos for a second. They're critically endangered, yet Lewa seems to be a haven for them. What's the secret sauce?
It all comes down to Lewa's incredible team, their expertise in land management, and their multi-pronged approach. Remember, this place started as a cattle ranch, so they already had a strong foundation in security and land stewardship.
Oh, right.
They combined that with this unwavering commitment to protecting these amazing animals. They've created a safe haven where rhinos can actually thrive.
So it's not just luck, it's the right environment and a whole lot of hard work.
Exactly. They've got anti-poaching patrols, community outreach programs to teach people about rhino conservation, habitat management, to make sure the rhinos have the resources they need. They even have high-tech tracking systems to monitor their movements and keep them safe.
Wow, that's impressive. It's really encouraging to know that there are places like Lewa where these conservation efforts are really making a difference.
It gives you hope, right?
It does. It gives me hope for the future of these incredible animals.
Yeah, Lewa is a shining example of what's possible. It shows that with dedication, innovation, and community support, we can protect these endangered species and preserve this incredible biodiversity.
It's a good reminder that we can make a difference. We're not powerless against these environmental challenges.
Absolutely.
But speaking of making a difference, let's talk more about those community programs. How does Lewa make sure that the positive impact of tourism extends beyond the Conservancy itself?
That's a great question. Leo really understands that conservation can't happen in a bubble. They've got this holistic approach that recognizes how interconnected everything is, the wildlife, the habitat, and people. Their programs focus on education, healthcare, and economic empowerment. It creates this ripple effect that benefits the whole region.
So it's not just about protecting animals, it's about giving people the tools to become stewards of their own environment.
Exactly. By investing in education and healthcare, they're creating a stronger, more resilient community. And by supporting sustainable economic activities, they're giving people a chance to thrive while also protecting those natural resources.
Can you give us some specific examples of how these programs are actually changing people's lives?
Sure. Lewa has built several schools so kids who might not have had access to education can learn. They've set up medical clinics to bring health care to these remote communities. And they've got vocational training programs to give people the skills to get jobs in the growing ecotourism industry.
It's amazing to see how tourism can be this force for good, not just for the environment, but for the people who live there. It's like this virtuous cycle where conservation helps communities, and the communities help conservation in return.
It really is. And that's at the heart of Lewa's success. They get it. They understand that protecting wildlife and empowering people go hand in hand. By investing in both, they're creating a sustainable future for everyone.
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job exploring the ins and outs of Lewa, from the wildlife to the landscape to the conservation work and those incredible community programs.
Definitely covered a lot of ground.
But I'm sure our listeners are still curious. They probably want to experience this place for themselves.
I don't blame them. It's the kind of destination that sparks your imagination and makes you want to get out there and explore.
So to our listeners out there, I say this. If you're looking for a travel experience that's more than just a vacation, if you want to connect with nature, witness, conservation, and action, and immerse yourself in this amazing culture, then Lewa Wildlife Conservancy might just be the perfect place for you.
And remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to learn. Do your research, check out some travel magazines, maybe watch a documentary. Let your curiosity lead the way.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, everyone, happy travels. All right.
You were there for me. 1 year off, you know they fall.